Frugal is one of those terms that can mean different things to different people, so there's often some confusion regarding what it is and what it isn't. Now, obviously, it does involve trimming expenses and just being more economical with money overall, and for that reason, I think some people get the idea that it means that they can't spend any extra money whatsoever or that they have to deprive themselves, which is not the case. Depriving oneself is probably one of the biggest mistakes that some people make when they're trying to live a more frugal life, and in today's video, we're going to look at a few reasons why this doesn't always work. Now, if you're trying to save money, yes, you're probably going to have to make some adjustments to your spending and your budget. That's just how it works as part of the equation, and most people don't get to the finish line without making a few sacrifices. But it's important to understand the difference between making a sacrifice and depriving yourself, because these two are not the same, and depending on how you approach frugal living and saving money, you could actually be helping or hindering your growth. Now, a sacrifice, it does involve giving up certain items for the greater good. For example, you might sacrifice buying a brand new car and get a used car instead because it's cheaper, or you might sacrifice a bigger home and buy something smaller in order to save money. Depriving yourself, on the other hand, is something that's completely different. I've heard people use the term deprive and sacrifice as synonyms, kind of the same way that some people like to use the words cheap and frugal interchangeably, even though they're not the same. So I checked the thesaurus just out of curiosity to see how these two words could be used, and oddly enough, they are not listed as other words for each other. When you look up the word sacrifice, you'll get these alternative soft words like yield or relinquish or give up, which aren't really that bad. But when you look up the words deprive or deprivation, the alternative words are definitely a little bit more powerful, and you'll find words like stripped or poverty or neediness or to be robbed of or to be cheated of. So there's clearly a difference between the two terms. Depriving is when you don't allow yourself any type of fun or indulgence, but some people will definitely take it to another level and they will deny themselves things that they actually need, which can be dangerous in the long run. Saving money is already hard. Why make it harder on yourself? So here's a look at 3 reasons why I feel that you should not deprive yourself to hit your goals. Number 1, it's not always sustainable. Now, admittedly, yes, I realize that some people have amazing willpower. They can go to extreme measures to hit their goals. And I've even seen other videos about this where someone will live in their car, they will eat ramen noodles, or they will couch surf or do other extreme things in order to hit their financial goals. And I'm not saying that it can't work, but for the average person, living this type of life long term isn't usually sustainable because it often leads to frugal burnout. And when some people hit the point of burnout, they stop caring. They don't care about their goals, they don't care about saving money, and they basically give up. Now, in the short term, an extreme measure might work. For example, you'll have people who will do a no-spend week or maybe a no-spend month, and basically all of their money will go toward their needs only, and they won't indulge during this period. And doing this for 7 days or maybe 30 days will probably be okay. But if you try and do it longer, say for 3 months or 6 months, it might not be the most effective way to save money. And this is comparable to someone who doesn't eat enough calories when they're trying to lose weight. For the first couple of days, they might be okay. But as time goes on, eventually hunger is going to kick in and it's going to be too much for them to handle. And when it gets to this point, they don't care anything about their diet and they're going to eat anything that they can get their hands on. It's the same way with our finances, and being frugal, it's really all about balance. And it doesn't mean that you can't spend extra money. It's about spending on, 1, things you can afford, but also the things that you value, and it's about being more intentional with your money. And when you learn how to be more intentional and how to cut out things that don't matter and how to stop spending on emotions, saving money is going to happen naturally. And I know that some people might say that they can't do anything just a little bit and they have to be all or nothing, and I get it, everyone is different, but honestly ask yourself, how has that been working out for you so far? Because even if you like that approach, you might not be built that way, and if it hasn't been working, it might be time to try something new. So the second reason why I think you should not deprive yourself is because rewards, they keep us motivated. Now, when some people start their money journey or their savings journey, at first they are excited, they are gung-ho, and they are ready, but at some point along the journey, sometimes that excitement, it dies. And the reasons vary. There isn't one single reason why people lose motivation, but sometimes it does go back to depriving themselves, where they're basically making the process more harder than it has to be, and there really isn't any motivation to continue. What's interesting about us as humans is that when we receive a reward, certain pathways in our brain become activated, and when this happens, we feel good, we feel happy, and we want to seek additional reward. And once you understand how the brain responds to rewards, treating yourself and allowing yourself an indulgence actually makes sense when you're on a savings journey, because by allowing yourself the occasional treat when you hit certain milestones, that might do more good for your goals than depriving yourself. And I'm gonna go back to the example of dieting. When I was trying to lose weight, I basically allowed myself one cheat meal a week, like a lot of people do, and it was nothing crazy and I didn't overdo it. But the key though is that I only allowed myself this treat if I was able to stick with my physical activity goals throughout the week, and it was a minimum of 30 minutes per day, and it worked. Having a cheat day was really a win-win, because on one hand, it gave me a much needed mental break. It also helped curb cravings, and being able to achieve that goal at the end of the week, it did motivate me to keep working out. And we can apply this to saving money. Maybe you like eating out. It's your favorite form of recreation and you're currently eating out 3 or 4 times a week. Saving money and being frugal doesn't mean that you have to stop doing this. But one thing you could do is maybe limit it to once a week, but you only allow yourself this treat if you're able to stick with your other financial goals throughout the week. And the third reason why I think you should not deprive yourself is because enjoying the things that you like in moderation is probably not going to throw you off track. We work hard and there's nothing wrong with enjoying our money. If you like traveling, take a vacation. If you're a shoe person, buy a pair of shoes. There's nothing wrong with that, but it all goes back to balance, moderation, and being intentional. Living within your means, allowing yourself a splurge budget, delaying instant gratification. All 3 of these can really help you enjoy the things that you like and still hit your money goals. If you can master balance and learn how to control your impulses, treating yourself or allowing yourself an occasional indulgence is not going to derail your finances, but depriving yourself might. So that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you for watching. I really hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, do consider subscribing. Here we talk a lot about personal finance, so if you like videos like this, I do post every weekend and sometimes during the week. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in a few days.